Okay, welcome back to the Domenick Nati Show on Intellectual Radio in Chicago and iHeartRadio. I have been telling you about our special guest, and the time has come. The man himself, Jeff Lowe, is here. Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you, Domenick?
I'm doing good. Jeff, I mean, the biggest question, I obviously announced that we were going to be, talking to you today, and you were poisoned a few weeks ago. So can you tell us what happened, and did you find out who did this to you?
Well, we haven't found out yet who's done it to me. It's pretty definitive that it was somebody did put something in my drink. It's a chemical that I can't even pronounce. Lauren and I went out to have a date night on St. Patty's Day, and we ended up at a bar we've never been to, but we've been followed there by a group of, hangers-oners. And shortly into the evening, Lauren started feeling really, really strange. She'd been sipping on my drink. She didn't even have her own. And of course, me being the guy that's going to never waste a drop, I hammered mine down and we left. And before we could get home in 10 minutes, I was unconscious. And she thought I'd fallen asleep in the car. She said, "I'll be right back. I'm going to go get something more comfortable on, and I'll come help you out of the car." And she thought I was passed out, just either drunk or just tired. So she came back out and found me blue and not breathing. So she headed, we're only about 2 minutes from the WinStar Casino here. And she got on 911, and she wanted to make sure that they could find me with medical vehicles. So she took me up to the WinStar, and they did all their CPR and stuff on me in the parking lot and decided to airlift me down to Denton. And it was determined that I'd had a stroke. They did all the customary blood screens for drugs. They shot me with 2 injections of Narcan, and it didn't help. So then they realized they had a problem, that it wasn't an overdose. It wasn't alcohol related. It was a stroke. So they got me to Denton and administered that stroke medicine and stuck me in ICU for a few days.
Wow.
That's the weirdest thing that's happened to me, though.
Right.
Tiger King, right?
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. But you don't know who did it. It's just.
Well, we have our suspicions, and they're reviewing security footage from the bar's security system, and that's kind of in the hands of the authorities now. And whether they'll tell me what they discover, I don't know. And it's like I said, we talked to Dr. Oz the other day, and I told Dr. Oz, I said, I believe in UFOs, and I believe in some weird things, but I try not to be too conspiratorial. But Lauren and I had kind of come to terms that we were going to see if Joe's attorneys wanted some of the information that we have. Now that the DOJ is fucking with me, it's time to show everybody what the DOJ really is, and how they build these cases against people. And we saw some things during Joe's trial that we just thought were pretty scrupulous and underhanded. But we were told to keep our mouths shut and sit on certain evidence. And the day that we didn't leak it. I think somebody on Joe's legal team, Team Tiger, posted online that Jeff and Lauren were going to turn over some recordings and text messages from the Federal Fish and Wildlife and the Department of Justice that would really shine a different light on a lot of the witnesses in Joe's trial. And 10 hours later, I'm dead in a helicopter. So, it's, who knows? There's no end of crazy people in the world, but it's also pretty ironic that the day that comes out, and I have a stroke with, they said my vitals were that of a 20-year-old. They were better than the EMT's vitals. And yet I'm dead, and they don't know why.
Are you thinking that it might have been someone from Joe Exotic's legal team? No,
I don't think they have any benefit in in taking me out, because whether Joe wants to admit it or not, I'm probably the only one that could legitimately offer him a shred of hope of getting a commuted sentence. No one else is going to step up and tell what we know, because no one else knows what we know. And if anything happens to me, world, it's probably because of this. Probably because I'm frustrated with the way that the Department of Justice has lied about us, the USDA's lied about us, and if I have to blow up the whole, popsicle stand to make a point, then I will.
So it could have
This is
been
the way I've
someone.
been all my life.
It could have been someone from the federal government trying to take you out. You think?
You know what? There's weirder things have happened. We're not that far from a Russian society here, and you see what Putin does it every day. So
Yeah.
who knows? There's absolutely no benefit to Joe's team, and Joe's got a lot of supporters that just really don't know Joe, and we have a lot of detractors because of Tiger King made us look, like we were shady and that I'd stolen his zoo. So who else is there? PETA. PETA's crazy, and PETA's got their agenda, but I don't think there was a chance that PETA would risk poisoning us with cameras all over us. So
Yeah.
you just don't know. You never know.
So maybe the best guess is someone from the Department of Justice. You think? Yeah.
It's probably not anybody that sits at a desk at the DOJ, but I'm sure the DOJ has a hell of a Rolodex.
Yeah. Okay. And then did your heart stop? Is that what you're saying? Like,
Yeah,
did you?
I coded. I was dead for between 5 and 7 minutes.
Okay. Now, you were supposed to appear in court this month in Las Vegas for illegally using animals to make money.
Now,
So,
see, let me stop you there. That's the huge misconception here. The ticket that I got in Las Vegas. See, I'm licensed by the USDA. I can take a tiger to your backyard. I can take a tiger to your backyard and your kid's birthday party. I can take it anywhere in the United States, as long as I clear it with the county that I'm going into. Just letting them know that I'm going to be here. And you have to file an itinerary with the USDA, letting them know, all right, Jeff Lowe's going to take a tiger from Oklahoma to Las Vegas and use him at a birthday party. All right. So the ticket that I received, Lauren and I went out to Vegas. We had to get away from Joe because he was just driving us insane. And we went out and we rented this house in North Las Vegas that we were told was in the county, was in Clark County. Well, we'd already cleared it with Clark County that we were going to come out with exotic animals. And we were out there for 5 or 6 months before PETA saw a post of Lauren, I think, in a swimming pool with a baby tiger. And they turned us into the city of Las Vegas. And I said, well, who gives a shit? We're not in the city of Las Vegas. Well, come to find out, they restructured the zoning of North Las Vegas. And indeed, our neighbors across the street were in the county, and our house was in the city. So they sent, you'd think it was something from Scarface, the way that they raided the house. They wrote me misdemeanor municipal court tickets for possession of exotic animals. Now, it didn't matter if it was a baby alligator or a peacock. You would have, not a peacock, but a parrot. That's the ticket that you would get. If you were down on Fremont Street with a boa constrictor on your neck, you get the same ticket that I got for having baby tigers in my house. So that was the ticket. Now, I had that big jungle bus that I had just purchased. It wasn't licensed. It wasn't insured. I sent it to the graphics company to have it wrapped, and that was parked alongside of this big house that we were in. That's what they called doing business. My bus sitting in that gated community next to my home was what they wrote me a ticket for doing business. So they never gave me a ticket. They never charged me with trying to make money with cubs, with animals. That it was 2 separate tickets. It was one for possession and then one for doing business without a license. And I said, well, how do you call? That'd be like if a UPS driver took his vehicle home and parked it next to his house. he would get the same ticket. That's the way they explained it to me. So I go to court, and the judge says, he says, well, how do you plead? And I said, well, I've done it. I mean, I had the animals, and the bus is sitting there. It's not licensed. It's never been out on the Las Vegas streets. I said, so, you know, what do I do? He says, well, you can either post a $30,000 bond, or you can just take a plea agreement to stay out of trouble for 1 year and pay a $10,000 fine. So I paid the $10,000 fine and didn't get in any trouble whatsoever. Didn't get a speeding ticket. Didn't get a jaywalking ticket. Anything. And that was April 19th of 2017 that happened. And Lauren and I left Las Vegas shortly before the year anniversary would have been, but it was still, this didn't come up. Now the USDA issue, that's what the judge in Las Vegas is trying to get back. He says, well, I told you to stay out of trouble for a year. And I said, I did stay out of trouble for a year. The USDA thing didn't come up till 2020. And even long past the anniversary of the year that I had satisfied. So, you know, my attorneys, it's not, the stroke kept me from going back this last time, but my attorneys advised me, says that this judge is just, he's a PETA bought and paid for judge. They've communicated. They know they've communicated. He says, I'm advising you to stay. He says, we're going to go after this judge on a jurisdictional challenge. We're going to go after him on just a behavioral challenge for not abiding by the terms of my plea agreement. So that's where we got stuck with that. And you know what? Who gives a shit? There's a misdemeanor warrant in Las Vegas, the city of Las Vegas. I really don't give a crap. I'm not going to go back there and let him try to make an example of me for some animal rights agenda that he has. And you know what? What's really ironic is they come after me, mistreatment of animals. That's what their initial charge was. And they had to drop it, the mistreatment of animals. Yet David Bailey, the city attorney for Las Vegas, I've got pictures of him holding dead coyotes out in the desert of Las Vegas, where he's out slaughtering coyotes just for the fuck of it. But they accuse me of mistreating animals. We keep coyotes here, and we feed them every day, and we brush them, and you know. So it's just really ironic the way that people want to step up and criticize people that they don't even know. Tiger King, they say we're wheeling tiger cubs into casinos and suitcases. That wasn't me. They've reenacted something that somebody told them. It's all bullshit. So, you know, Tiger King 2 is being filmed, and they've offered us the opportunity to kind of correct the narrative and show the truth. And you know what? We've got them recorded making these apologies and telling us that they are two things. You know, he regretted making Joe look like a martyr, and he regretted making Lauren and I look like bad people, because we're just not. That's not who we are.
Who's saying that? You're saying did Netflix, like, who is responsible for portraying you guys in this way?
Well, ultimately, it would have been Royal Good Productions, which is Eric Good. You know, if you Google Eric Good, he's a very successful restaurant and hotel owner. He's got a huge, big turtle conservatory program going. You know, he's a nice guy, but too many fingers, I think, got into the pot. You've got one, his co-producer, this Rebecca, had this soft side for Joe, and she was talking to Joe almost on a daily basis in prison. And she knew what an asshole he was, but you know, he's endearing, and he's got a charm to him that's hard to deny. And she just couldn't not turn us into the villain. You know, she didn't work with us. Eric Good worked with us, you know, almost on a daily basis doing filming. Rebecca came out just a couple times to meet us. So Rebecca kept a heavy thumb on the edit, you know, of Tiger King, and they've apologized to me. So
the producers have apologized to you?
Oh yeah, absolutely, several times. Because we told them when they came to us and said, "Will you do Tiger King 2?" I said, "Go fuck yourselves." You know, you lied to us about what you were going to portray us as. We were supposed to be the guys who came in and saved all these animals from Joe Exotic, you know. And that's the same way with the Federal Fish and Wildlife. You know, we know you guys are doing it right. I've got recordings. Wait till all this comes out. I've got recordings from Federal Fish and Wildlife, from the USDA, praising us on what an excellent job we were doing. And I told Lauren, I said, you know what, the problem with ever working with the feds is that the feds will turn on you. And, you know, we were sure, no, this is not anything about you. This is about Joe and all his crimes. We've been following him for 3 years before you even came into the picture. So, you know, sure enough, now what happens after Tiger King? You've got Doc Antle being investigated. Tim Stark loses his license. Joe's in prison. And who's left to come after? Me. You know, there's Josh Dial and all these guys. They didn't own any animals. And so Tiger King made the USDA and the U.S. Department of Justice look like a bunch of fucking idiots for not having a handle. They let Joe sell cubs for 20 years, you know, and 15 of them were almost even unsupervised years. And it's, you know, so now the rest of us pay the price because the USDA didn't do their job to begin with.
Now, when was the last time that you spoke to Joe Exotic?
Wow. The last time I spoke to Joe, he was absconded. I haven't spoken to him since he got locked up. And I think he got locked up like in September 17th maybe or 11th of 2018. You know, we trade jabs once in a while over social media, and he sits and, dude, he's the craziest fucker you'll ever meet. And he just comes up with these conspiratorial, you know, Jeff in Tiger King, you know, Jeff Lowe put something on my shoes to get, you know, the cats to attack me. And I wasn't even there. I wasn't there that day. And you'd think also, if I was there, Joe gets up at 7 a.m, his shoes should be next to his bed. And I promise you, I've never been in Joe's bed. So, you know, I'm human trafficking 75 Asian women. A couple years ago, I was human trafficking 100 Asian women. And then I was involved in credit card fraud and making fake Prince clothes. And dude, every day he was coming up with something. And now you heard Josh Dial. Lauren and I are living in Las Vegas, letting Joe run the zoo. And when Travis shot himself, and you heard Josh Dial say Joe begged him to sue me. I said, sue me for what? What the fuck did I do? You know, I'm living in Las Vegas. These guys are here doing their stupid shit. And Joe's begging him to sue me. So, you know.
Are you talking, because we had Josh Dial, are you talking about Josh Dial's interview with me where he said that? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you're familiar with it. Okay. So none of that is true, because it's only fair to hear your side. Josh did say that Joe said he should sue you. None of that ever happened?
Well, he's asked several people. We had a waitress at Chili's come up to us and say Joe wanted me to, he must have known her, and he wanted her to try to dig up information on us. I said, Jesus Christ. Lauren and I were living in a beautiful house. You might have seen it in Tiger King, that big, beautiful house in Colorado. We were buying a zoo that was in Colorado. Joe's the one that came to me and approached me, wanted me to fly him out there to look at this zoo to see if it was suitable for what we wanted. And I thought, fuck, here's this guy in Oklahoma that's got a private zoo. He's been out there for 20 years. And I said, I'll take the free advice because I don't know everything. And so I paid to have Joe and Travis flown out to Colorado Springs. And he thought, you know, he saw the big house, he saw the cars and all the, you know, all the stuff I had going on out there. So I think that just tripped a spring. And he just saw me as an opportunity to help him extend his troubles a bit. So a few months later, he begged me to come out to Oklahoma. We came out and we looked at this place, and it was, you know, it was okay. It's not like this thing. You know, we're building a monstrosity of a zoo here. But his animals were unhealthy or thin. I mean, they were just thin. The utilities were about to be shut off. His lawyers were about to quit. So Carol could have just walked in and taken that park in 2015 had we not stepped in. So, you know, we came in, we bailed his ass out. And once everything was back on track, Lauren and I just couldn't take his bullshit. He was just, he's like the most dramatic, narcissistic bitch that you've ever dealt with. So we moved out to Las Vegas, and then that's when he got into this, all the hitman stuff. He just decided it was time to pull the plug on Carol Baskin.
Okay, now Joe Exotic is getting a divorce from his husband, Dylan Passage. Was Joe abusive to his husbands? Do you have have you ever witnessed that?
You know, Joe was abusive mentally to everybody. Travis was 6'4", 240 pounds of muscle, and Joe had him. Yeah, everyone. Joe makes him tattoo property of Joe Exotic, right above their private region, and
Oh,
he
wait, are you
he
saying that?
basically he branded his guys,
So
and
if you were having sex with Joe Exotic, or if you were committed to him, you had to get a tattoo above your penis, property of Joe Exotic.
yeah, yeah. John Finley had it. John Finley had some big buffalo something put over it or something. He had his fix, but Travis died with property of Joe Exotic above his dick, and I would suspect that Brian, Joe's husband that died, probably had the same thing. But Joe thought he was Mickey Mouse, and he was operating Disney, and it would not survive without him. And it was probably a huge blow to his ego when, after he left, it became more successful than it had ever been. Not because of us, but because of Tiger King. So, he was abusive to every single employee that ever stepped foot on that place. He tried it a couple times with me, and I backed him down. Because he's not a fighter. He's a pussy, and he would once he challenges you, if you challenge him back, you won the challenge. But the problem, Joe would get Travis, and Travis was basically Joe's personal protection because he was such a big kid, and nobody's going to fuck with Joe because Travis would be there to pound you into the ground like a tent stake. But he was abusive to everybody. Female, he hated females. Guys, he would just groom young kids, to eventually become, one of his entourage, one of his husbands.
Now, did Joe Exotic ever make sexual advances towards you or to you?
No, I'm too old for Joe. Joe and I, the one thing Joe and I had in common is we both gravitated towards younger spouses. And, Lauren is 25 years younger than I am. And I don't make any apologies for that. And I don't criticize Joe for that. But to have expected Dylan, his new husband, Dylan was only on the scene from I think November of 18 until Joe left the park. We threw Joe off the park in the beginning of June no wait, Dylan came in like November of 17. We kicked Joe off the park in June of 18. So Dylan was there for just a short period of time, and he never came out onto the park. He was always stuck back in Joe's house playing video games and getting high. So, but that's what Joe would do. Joe would go and steal money out of the cash register, go buy a pound of weed, and keep these kids, high and on the couch. But no, he never approached me. We had a lot of conversations about our spouses and things like that, but he never came on to me.
No. Okay. Now, since you've seen the other interviews I've done, you know that this came up, right? So, do you have videos of Joe Exotic having sex with tigers?
Okay. Joe did not have sex with tigers. It was. Let me backtrack.
Amber has videos.
Yeah. Okay. John Finley, John, and John was dating Amber Eastep, and Amber was the employee at the park. Amber came to me, and we have this recorded as well. Amber came to me and she said, "Oh my God, I found a thumb drive in John's dresser drawer that showed him and Joe walking around the park late in the evening, fucking farm animals. Joe was filming it. John Finley was dressed in a cheerleading's outfit, and I said, "Oh, I can't see this, but you got to show me." And so then we when we kicked Joe out of his house, or when Joe left, we kicked him off the park. The feds wanted to look inside Joe's house, and we let the feds go in, and thumb drives fucking everywhere. So, you know, most of them didn't have anything on it, but some did. And Joe was definitely into bestiality, and Joe was into some really kinky stuff we found on other thumb drives. The biggest racist that you could ever meet in your life. He even, in some of his videos, he's thrown out the N-word like it's free. But some of the videos that we found completely dispel his racism against Black American men. So, you know, we've got a lot of stuff. And the feds, we gave it to the feds. The feds actually questioned John Finley about the bestiality. They were going to hit him with a bestiality charge. And I think that because John cooperated with them to put Joe away, that it saved him from that embarrassment. But, dude, you should have seen the day that we posted a clip on some social media we had. John Finley he pulled up in front of the park. John was already gone. He pulled up in front of the park, and I think he had a gun or a knife or something. He was demanding that I give him his property back. I had his computer. He said, the cops came. I said, I don't have any computer. And they said, well, what do you got that he's so pissed about? I said, probably this thumb drive right here. And I said, but this is part of the federal investigation. The cop says, good enough for me. He said, he went out and he told Finley, he says, get the fuck out of here. You know, whatever's on this property belongs to Jeff. So, yeah, Joe's a sick fuck. And, yeah.
John was wearing a cheerleading. John was wearing a cheerleading. So he's dressed up like a cheerleader. Yeah. And then Joe is following him with the camera, and then John is fucking farm animals.
Yeah. Amber told us, we gave Amber a couple goats that we just didn't have room for at the time. And she claims that John fucked them to death, killed them.
He fucked the goats to death?
Yeah, killed these two little goats by having sex with them.
Okay. Wow. And then, but Joe was just the camera operator? He didn't fuck goats?
You know what? I don't, from what we heard, Joe was Joe was impotent. And even in the videos where with the human beings that we found, Joe was always the one over sitting on the couch making all kinds of weird noises, trying to jerk himself off. He wasn't ever participating in the sex videos that we have. But he was definitely in the room filming John just getting abused. I mean, John was just, I don't know how a human being can let another human being control them the way that Finley let Joe control them. John Finley told the feds that meth will really make you do some fucked up things. So I think you have to blame it on the drugs that they were taking, but
yeah, still
a sick, twisted situation.
Okay, and then you said you had other things. Like, what other things were on those thumb drives that people would be surprised to hear?
Well, you know, there was Joe had volumes and volumes and volumes of customers' credit card numbers, expiration dates, addresses that he had accumulated in notebooks. And, you know, the feds suspected that he was either selling credit card numbers or using them to fund things, you know, because I don't know about you, but if somebody ran $50 on my credit card, I probably wouldn't notice it, you know. So I think Joe was just dirty in every aspect of humanity. He would solicit donations from people that he knew had no money. He was basically Carol Baskin, you know, with a mullet. And it's most of the stuff was pictures though. Joe loved looking at himself in the mirror, and you know we had pictures of after he had 2 or 3 plastic surgeries that he funneled money out of the park to go have plastic surgeries, telling people that he was having cancer removed from his nose, or he was having tumors removed from the side. He was having facelifts, you know, and he was using fake credit cards to get. You know, most of the kids that he'd bring into that park were ex-meth heads and he would use that crime blotter newspaper that you get at the gas station, and that's how he would find his employees. He'd find a guy that he thought was cute, and he'd go bail him out and offer him a job and a place to live, because Joe had these mobile homes on the park that he'd converted into housing for employees. And he would go basically be the savior to these guys and pay them $150 a week for probably 60 hours worth of labor. But he just trapped them, and he would provide them drugs. And he bought one kid who had a really bad set of teeth. He paid $7,500 on a fraudulent credit card to get his teeth repaired. So still, dude, the story can go on and on and on and on. It's about him.
Fraudulent credit. So are these customers' credit cards? Or are you saying
no? He had an accomplice that was creating fake identities.
Oh.
And then applying for credit cards, these fake identities, and then using them to he used it to put restaurant equipment in his restaurant, and then to get his boyfriend's teeth fixed. He'd buy guns and ammo and tannerite. And then never pay the bill. But that's what he's blaming me on. Everything he's done, if you see him blame me for something on Instagram, it's usually what he's trying to.
Okay. Now. Okay. Now, do you currently own or are building a zoo? What is your current zoo situation?
We are about 80% done. I mean, this thing has taken forever. We came down, we bought 50 acres in the right behind the WinStar Casino in southern Oklahoma, and we've been here building for 2 years straight. Every single day, I've got welders. Well, except Sundays, I've got welders out here welding tiger cages. It's going to be badass. I mean, it's really a pretty spot. Elephants going in behind me, and it's a huge undertaking to build a zoo from scratch in the woods. Just the infrastructure alone took a year.
And when was the last time that PETA or the federal government have threatened legal action on you?
The DOJ's got an active suit against me right now, and it's a civil suit. It's not a criminal suit. So it's like they act like they know anything about an animal, but they don't. I mean, our animals here, if I could take the cameras and show you everybody, they would charge me with exhibiting without a license if I do that. So that's what they'll do, is they'll say, okay, Jeff and Lauren, you can't show any animals on your social media because you're not licensed by the USDA. And I said, well, you know what? I got 20,000 pictures on my phone. If I want to post pictures from 2 years ago when I was licensed on my Facebook or my Instagram, that's constitutionally protected. And they said, no, we're going to charge you with exhibiting without a license. Then they went as far as challenging, if Lauren and I show up at a bar in Dallas for personal appearance, that constitutes exhibiting an animal without a license, because we are who we are. I mean, we got our notoriety because of animals. So they're just basically trying to destroy the Constitution because of Tiger King, and we're not going to let them do it. I mean, I just had to get brand new lawyers because our lawyer had some family issues that he's having to deal with right now, and health-wise. So we got this kick-ass lawyer now out of Indiana, and he's filing motions to shut this down. But they're telling me that I can't even sell this if I wanted to sell it to somebody, because we had somebody come in and offer us a shitload of money. And I said, you know what, considering my health scare and everything else, I said, maybe I'll do that. The DOJ says, well, you have to get our approval to sell it. I said, the fuck I do. You don't control this property. So that's what we deal with, just stupidity and overreach by the federal government.
Okay, let me switch gears here too. Now, your wife has an OnlyFans, right? That you've been promoting. Are you on OnlyFans? And what is the strangest request your wife Lauren has received from a fan?
You know what? She gets a lot of requests for foot fetish stuff, and I think that's just weird. I tell her, keep it classy, and because we have a lot of fun, and I'm not a jealous person, but she gets a couple weirdos once in a while that I'll just block them and delete them. Just, you're gone. If you cross the line, you're gone. But can you get blowjob pictures? Can I get cream pie pictures? So it's like, dude, seriously.
Like her blowing you? Is that what you're like? Is that
Or whoever? It's. I try to stay as minimalistic in videos and pictures as I can.
yeah?
Because nobody wants to see me. We know why they go to her OnlyFans page, and it's not to see me. So, it's she has fun with it, but I monitor it pretty close.
Okay, and then so what? So they asked for feet. Does she not do feet pics or videos?
I told her, I said, just don't get into any weird shit. Just straight up girl on girl is fine with me. I said, but I just don't like to feed the perverts. I just keep it to the guys who thought you were hot on Tiger King, and I'm okay with it.
Now, girl on girl, like, does she do girl on girl requests? Is that for?
Yeah. I mean, we go out every weekend, and it's not unusual for us to come home with friends. So, we shoot some of it. It was always mostly just for our own personal enjoyment. But then she started doing it on OnlyFans and making $10,000 a week doing it. And I said, well, you can't argue with that. So it's we have to be a little bit respectful of the fact that we signed to do a porn deal with a company out of Miami, and they don't hold an exclusive to our degenerate lifestyle, but they kind of, it's almost like a high-end bag like a Chanel or a Louis. They tell the retailers you can't put it on sale. So when we do offer something, it has to be high monetary cost. It has to be kind of exclusive, so it's not everywhere, because they gave us $330,000 a video to do 3 videos. So but they haven't called that in yet. They want us to go to Miami and go out on a yacht and do all these videos, but we just, because of COVID, it's slowed down everything.
So she's getting $330,000 per porn video. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, to do 3 videos is almost $1 million. Crazy, right?
That's a lot.
Because of a Netflix show. Otherwise, nobody would have given a shit.
I mean, okay. And then, are you saying that she's making $500,000 a year on OnlyFans?
Yeah.
She's making $500,000 a year,
Yeah.
and then you're going out. This was like a regular occurrence of you just to go out to dinner and then come back with a friend for like an orgy? Is that what you're saying?
Not an orgy. I mean, just if we go out to a club or something, people since Tiger King. Hang on one second, Lauren. Excuse me. I want to make sure I don't lose you. My battery just flashed low.
Oh,
Lauren, could you please give me a cord and a charger? I don't want to lose Domenick.
Okay, I don't know.
we don't want to lose Dominic.
Extension cord. Yeah, we don't lose. So if I lose you, I'll call you right back.
Okay.
It's when we go out, because of Tiger King, we draw a lot of attention and a lot of. We have nanny applications coming in every day. After Tiger King showed the hot nanny, and it's. I'm not going to complain. It's good to be the new king. So it's just well known. I mean, we have fun.
So you're in pretty much an open relationship, right? I mean, like
Yeah, I mean, we don't do anything. We don't do anything apart from one another. I mean, if one of us decides we want to do something, we do it together. But we don't communicate with. I don't communicate with girls behind her back. She doesn't communicate with guys behind my back. It's it's all done. It's all done in a not a group setting. Hang on, let me grab this from her.
It's right there. It's attached to it. Oh, wait.
No, that isn't it. Hang on, Dominic.
Okay. Guys. Jess and Steven, stop with the comments. You're trying to make me laugh. Stop. Okay.
Sorry about that. This
okay.
we have to use Wi-Fi down here instead of the cell service, so it eats the battery quicker.
Okay.
We're good.
No problem. I can't remember.
Trying to wrap your head around this, right?
Well, yeah, no, you guys you're fun to talk to. It's pretty fun, but that's I think that's the sense. So you're pretty much in an open relationship. You said that it's you don't do anything apart from each other, but you have you're not bisexual. It's just
hell no.
So but you do things with you and several women, including your wife, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have, certainly.
So if you meet a fan while you guys are out and be like, "Hey, we should all have sex tonight," and you just bring them back to the house.
It doesn't happen like that. We don't say come back and have sex with us. If we.
Yes, I let him fuck other women.
Yeah, you heard it.
There's Lauren. Okay.
Yeah, there's Lauren.
Okay.
Lauren, you want to come get on camera for a minute?
Yeah, Lauren, tell us about the relationship.
So, it's more of a situation where after a few drinks, you don't want the night to end, and there's been many a night where we've rolled in at 9 a.m. from house parties. After the bars close, we'll go hit a house party, and whatever happens. But we keep it away from our daughter. We don't typically bring it home. We're not animals. We're just have animal instincts.
But no animals are like. Do people like to have animals watch?
Hi.
There's Lauren. Hello, Lauren. Lauren,
Hi.
we're just talking about you. Okay, so you're okay with him? You bring home other women, and you're okay with having other women involved in your sex life, as long as you're involved.
It's really funny. He and I have the same taste in women. I'm actually bisexual, so it's really funny. Like, I'll even nudge him when I see a cute girl. I'm like, hey, look at that, And whether she's with a boyfriend or not, I can steal that girl away from that boyfriend easily.
So you'll go approach these women.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Easily.
Yeah.
Super easy. Cheers.
Okay, yeah, I have coffee. And then you'll go up, and they'll be with their boyfriend, and you'll be like, hey, we're from Tiger King. I don't know how
I don't even have to do that.
You don't have to drop the Tiger King. Just be
Nah.
like, you're going to fuck with us tonight.
We keep that in our pocket. We don't bring out the heavy artillery unless she's really stubborn.
I mean, a little pussy gets you a lot of pussy.
So you're Mrs. Steal Your Girl. You'll come over and steal from the boyfriend.
Easily. Yeah, easily.
It's happened. It really has happened.
Yeah.
Really? And then how many girls at one time for Jeff? Like, is it just
one time? I brought home one time 3 girls.
you and 3 other girls?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. 4.
Yeah, you can get the video on OnlyFans.
Oh, the videos on okay.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna start, Lauren. You're gonna start doing porn pretty soon, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. My family already knows everything, so it's like, I mean, they knew I was very open already to begin with, and like, I mean, I don't hide anything. If they ask, I'll tell them, but I do, I'm respectful enough to my parents, not to like say anything, but even though they already know.
It's on TMZ.
Yeah, it was on TMZ. Though. I mean, it's just, yeah.
What do your parents say? Are your parents like? Are they saying anything? Like, are they upset, or how do they feel about it?
I'm an adult. I mean,
they basically don't want to know about it. Her parents are both very religious. Lauren and I are not.
But I'm respectful to them. So, I mean, and they're respectful to my decision as well. So it's just a mutual agreement. So, I mean, I've actually brought girls home or to meet my parents without them even realizing that was the girl. Yeah. I mean, my dad kind of had an idea because me and my dad are a little bit closer.
Yeah.
So, so he's like, okay. And I mean, there's been times I brought a couple girls home, and he's like, God damn.
Oh, your dad, like, as if he's attracted to them? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh.
like, these girls are smoking hot. Yeah,
Smoking hot girls.
like any guy would be totally attracted to.
Now, on your OnlyFans, are people trying to involve, like, animals with, like, their
Oh
requests?
fuck
Like,
no. It's nothing like that at all.
why just be like maybe in the background with your? I don't know. They seem to like your feet, right?
Well,
my
you know,
feet? Oh
there's a-
my! I've only gotten like just a few requests for feet. I mean, there's some feet.
he was asking me what the weirdest thing people are asking.
Yeah.
And I said the feet shit is
I mean,
weird
I
to
don't
me.
see that. I don't see feet thing as a weird thing whatsoever because it's just feet. You know.
Mhm.
I don't know what the weirdest thing would be because it's not like. I don't know. It's
You know
not
what?
horrible.
More guys ask for facial videos.
Yeah, people ask more for facials or.
So there's
or,
something
like,
about facials that guys.
Well, I mean, it is kind of hot.
So they want to see Joe ejaculate on your face. Is that what you're saying?
Ew. What?
Who,
Joe?
Are you talking about facials? What kind of facials are you talking about?
Joe's ejaculating on his Sally's face, I would guess.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Are you talking about?
they do say that ejaculating is a good face serum.
Oh, they're not. You're talking about actual facials like the spa treatment,
No.
or are you
No.
talking about what I'm
No.
saying?
The money shot, the cum shot.
Money shot. They want okay, but
Yeah.
and you like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what
Oh,
more
so-
guys ask for.
Yeah.
Not that we provide it to them, but that's probably the
I
most.
think that's more. That's just the more kind of thing. I mean, foot stuff. That's not a big
how
deal,
much
'cause
does
that's
that-
nothing sexual.
Okay. And then how much do you charge for that?
Well, OnlyFans has a limit apparently of $100.
Okay.
So can't go
she'll,
over
she'll put out a
$100.
20-minute video for $100, and
Yeah.
50 guys will buy it or 60 guys will buy it, and then you do
Oh.
the next one.
Okay. And you're making $500,000 a year doing this.
Yeah.
And I started like in November, so if things keep going like the way they're going, then yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
quite-
my OnlyFans is TigerQueen_.
Okay.
Harvey Levin put it on TMZ, and within 24 hours, she had 200 subscribers, or 250 subscribers.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
you chopped pretty fast.
Well, let me ask
And
you.
now, hey, when Tiger King 2 comes out, they actually put us in a hotel room down in Dallas in this ritzy hotel, and brought in one of her girlfriends and stuck us all in bed together. I don't even know how they're going to play this in Tiger King, but
Is there going to be you're saying there's going to be an orgy scene in Tiger King 2?
No. It's not an orgy.
No, it's not an
but
orgy.
it's,
You guys don't like that word?
Certainly insinuate such.
Okay.
And they put her on a stripper pole in a strip club down in Dallas. So
Oh, Lauren is stripping also? Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not
just
like, getting
on
naked.
Tiger King.
I'm not getting naked. I'm just on the pole.
You just
Yeah.
oh,
The
you're
Tiger
pole
King
dancing.
directors went and bought. They took her to Victoria's Secret, said buy whatever you want, and then brought her back and stuck her up on a stripper pole in this bar we were at.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. I know we've been doing it. I'm sorry to take up so much of your time. I just have one more question that I ask everyone. Now, how bad have the haters been for you guys? And what type of death? Have you been receiving a lot of death threats? And can we talk about that as far as the death threats you've received and how often and how severe this has gotten for you?
You know, haters haven't. Okay, you want me to? Okay. Haters really haven't been that bad. I mean, they're online, obviously. I mean, you can read through these comments, and they'll say like negative stuff or whatever. They won't ever say it to your face, ever.
Yeah.
They're always like, "Hey, can I get a photo?"
Yeah.
That's all it is. So haters, honestly, haters, bring them on. I don't care. I love it because haters make you fucking famous, regardless. So
Yeah.
bring on the haters.
Right after, when Tiger King aired, and I haven't even seen it to confirm where it was, but apparently in some of the documents, I don't know if it was court documents or zoo documents that they showed in Tiger King, it had my cell phone number on it. So almost on March 20th, when Tiger King aired, I started getting hundreds of text messages. By March 25th, I was getting thousands of text messages every day. You're a snitch, you're an asshole, you're a fucker. And then I want to fuck you and I want you to be your nanny. Thousands of naked pictures were coming in from girls
So many naked photos.
all over the world. And, you know, I started answering a few, you know, and then it got to trying to answer 100 people, not just the pictures, but I'd answer 100. And then somebody, one of the media outlets said, Jeff Lowe's number got leaked and he actually answers you back. So then it was like, holy fuck, 7,000 text messages every single day were coming in. And I had to turn off my FaceTime feature on the phone because every second of every day someone was calling FaceTime. And we'd have friends over and I'd say, watch this. I'd turn on my FaceTime and almost immediately it would call. And whenever that answered, we'd have
it was
more.
always me that answered because, I mean, I was only in it for just a few episodes, but people would still look at me and they'd be like, she looks so familiar, but I'm not sure. And they'd be like, oh, it wasn't me you're wanting to. And then I would like flip it over to them and then they would start freaking out and screaming. And it was really funny. And then like after a while, I was like, okay, we need to change your number.
You know, the haters are the burger eating, Walmart shopping people. I don't care. You know, what do I care what their opinion is? I know who I am.
There were some pretty hot girls.
And the good outweighs the bad. And it's like she said, the haters made the Kardashian family famous. I mean, look what they're famous for. Their father got OJ off of a murder rap. And you can't care about people's opinions because every time you get butthurt by what somebody says, if you go look at their profiles, they're usually living a miserable life. And you know, if Jeff Lowe was on their mind when they get up in the mornings, then they've got a really sad life. So
these
I don't care.
These women wanted to be your nanny, and they would just send nudes. Is that you're saying? Thousands of women wanted to be the nanny. Is that did I misunderstand what you're saying? Did I lose you guys? Uh-oh. I think we may have lost connection. Did we lose him? Well, let's just take this time to look at my hair. Oh, I think we lost. Okay. Guys, we're just about to wrap up. Thank you all for watching. And okay. Maybe they'll come back and we will. Maybe let me just make sure they're not in the room. I don't see them. Oh, that's Lauren Lowe. Let me see. I think Lauren is contacting me from her. Okay.
Hey, so sorry, my child unplugged the thing. So give me 1 second.
Oh, okay.
So it was a question about the nanny, right?
Yeah.
And what was it?
Are you saying that people were applying to be your nanny, and the way that they applied was sending nudes?
Yeah. Well, you know, I think they realized our lifestyle, and sorry to you, followers, but these damn things. It was crazy. I mean, it was literally crazy, and a lot of them from the UK. It was probably more UK people and Australian girls than it was girls here. But you know, you get catfished a couple of times. But we're pretty keen observers, and we would take the girl's photo and then cross-reference it, you know, Google image search or something. But there were a few fakes. And
how many women apply to be your nanny by sending nudes? Like, are you talking about hundreds or?
Hundreds, dude. I'm telling you, I had so many pictures saved on my phone just to show friends. I bet you there was 4,000 or 5,000 that wanted to be nannies applying for a hot nanny position.
Did you hire a nanny? Did you wind up hiring someone?
We did. We have a hot nanny, and she lives. We built cabins down here at the new zoo, and we built our cabin right off of ours. It's this far from our cabin, so she lives here on site with us.
And then what does she have to do to, like, what duties does she perform? Is it cleaning, or is it sexual? Is it understood that?
She
No.
she does take care of the baby.
Yeah, she takes care of the baby. She's just good to look at, and I mean, beautiful girl. And we try to keep it professional.
Yeah,
You know?
she's very helpful. I'm very thankful for her, and our daughter just is
Adores her.
Absolutely freaking adores her. So that's always a plus. So yeah.
Have you guys had sex with the nanny together?
No.
Not this one. Not this one. No.
Not this one. No,
Not this
but in the ones in the past, is that usually part of it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's happened. Yeah.
Okay.
Send your applications to.
Are you still taking applications? Or,
You know what? We still get them. I had one text me the other day, and some smoking girl in London, and I just said, well, when COVID clears, come visit us. And
I am very on a serious note though, I am very picky as to who does take care of our child, because I mean she is my love, my whole world. So yes, we do make sure that we have somebody that we absolutely do trust and we know will do well.
Are you domestic, Lauren? Like, do you what are you taking care of the zoo, or like do you also take care of the zoo and the baby, or is that the nanny's job?
Yes, I take care of the zoo, all the animals, of course our child and him.
Okay, I got you. All right, now, guys, I appreciate your time. It's been a great hour. Now, I want you guys to promote. I'm a publicist, and I want to give you a chance to promote. So, where can fans go to keep up with you and see everything that Jeff and Lauren are doing?
Yeah, so we do have our own business Instagram page, which is Tiger King Park. We do try to keep it up to date as much as possible.
is that the DOJ allows?
That we are allowed, because we are living in a dictatorship right now. It's freaking ridiculous. And I gotta go.
Okay.
And yeah, sorry, I just heard something.
She got her OnlyFans page, Tiger Queen with an underscore at the end.
Okay.
We do go to Dallas every weekend if anybody wants to hang out with us and party. We usually have a great big party every weekend down at one of the clubs in Dallas. Domenick, you need to come hang out with us.
I do. I go to Dallas a lot. Yeah.
Yeah? No, do you? Really?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, hit us up.
Yeah. I want to
hit
come to
us
one
up.
of the parties.
Where do you hang out when you go to Dallas?
I hang out at cigar shops. I'm
Okay.
obviously a big cigars. I'm Vanilla Dom. That's the problem. Is that I'm they call me Vanilla Dom. I'm kind of boring. I mostly hang out at cigar shops and interview people. So
Yeah,
I'll try to keep up with the Lows.
We'll change your life. Come hang out with us one day.
Okay.
We know all the really cool private hotspots.
Okay. I don't want to wind up on a thumb drive though.
We're on a helicopter.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just heard a really loud thud and I had to run because I was like, what did my child get into?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, we have fun, but it's just everybody. We love everybody. We want everybody happy. We want everybody safe, and we don't want people to believe the hype that they hear. We're normal people, with exception to some of our, behavior, but we try to treat everybody kind, and we believe that you get what you give out, and everybody, whether you ever come here and look at our animals or not, we appreciate everybody watching us and having an opinion and voicing an opinion, and
whether they love us, hate us, it's all good.
keep hating because
hating.
it makes everybody call us and want interviews, and and it just keeps it alive. Tiger King 2 is supposed to come out in October now, they tell us, and it's got some really cool stuff that's going to happen in it that I think people, they can never catch that lightning in a bottle that they had with Tiger King 1, but that's Tiger King 2 is going to be pretty damn interesting.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I binge watched. I don't binge watch often, but the first one I did, I couldn't look away.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So
we lived it. We wouldn't even watch it because we lived it. We knew.
Yeah.
We just caught snippets of it, and that was enough for us.
Okay. All right, well, guys, this has been great. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being
You've
on.
been awesome. Thank you for having us.
Yes, being on the show, and best of luck. And then we'll have to have you on again when they, in around October when they come out with the sequel.
Sounds great.
Hey, sounds
Anytime.
good.
All right, thank you guys.
Take care, Dominic.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.